That was a loud one. That one scared me. That one actually, that one got me. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. The day of baseball. No basketball tonight. No playoff basketball. Some hockey, some playoff hockey, and a little bit of baseball. Not a lot of baseball, a little bit of baseball. So what we're going to do today, like we do every day, is research it. I'm a little later than usual. Although I thought about making this stream later anyway because of no basketball stream. But man, it is storming something fierce out there. And I don't know. I'm pretty good about not losing power. So I thought about, in the interest of safety, not doing a stream. And then I was just like, well, if I don't do a stream, I'm just sitting here anyway. If the power goes out, it goes out. So just know that, like, if I completely disappear randomly, it just likely means the power went out. And I probably wouldn't go through the hassle of firing it back up. Who knows how long it'd be out. But so I don't know. Like I said, what's the worst? You know what I mean? Like, why not at least try? So that's what we're doing. What up, MV? What up, Limited? Sinkhole in Mayo. Yes, sinkholes everywhere, bro. It just every time I turn on the news. What up, Zach? Never a bad thing taking a Blue Jays pitcher. Never a bad thing? Yeah, I guess last night it worked out for you. It worked out for Manoa, too. What up, Mock? Anyone got any good NHL cards posted or disc? Yeah, I don't know anything about hockey. I saw they were doing like a Taco Thursday special or something. But I don't even, let me know if y'all hear some of these, man. We've been getting some good thunderclaps. I don't pretend to know hockey, but I'll sweat it. If someone's got that fire, I'll put it in there. Why not? Got that fire in my soul. You guys play last night? You guys play Rowdy Tellez last night? A deeper question. 6 at-bats, 4 hits, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. My goodness, Rowdy. Just huge game out of him. The Brewers stack, obviously, pretty nutty against Vladimir Gutierrez and that Reds bullpen. Goody gave up 7, and Buck Farmer came in, gave up 4. Lucas Sims, then he used to play for like the Braves. He came in, gave up 5. It was an offensive day for the Milwaukee Brewers, and I know a lot of Brewers fans that were happy to see that was possible. Colton Wong led things off with a bomb. Adames didn't join the power action, but he got on base quite a few times. 2 walks, got hit in the head, kinda with the pitch. Yelich got in on the action, McCutcheon in on it, and then of course Rowdy Tellez. So that game's going. They got another game going on right now. It sounds like they're picking up where they left off. Rip bullpen. Man, that game was good though. Like I said yesterday that baseball's weird, right? You win 11 games in a row, you just kind of feel like it's not going to keep up. So I was okay with the L yesterday, especially since it was down to the last out. What are you gonna do? Anyway, you guys know the drill. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get some research in for tonight's slate. Now, word of caution: tonight is an earlier lock than atypical, right? Usually 6:05, something like that. Today, I think it's 5:40 Central, so add an hour for the East Coast cats. And then also, I want to, before we jump into the games, I want to go double check the weather. It's we're yellow orange where I'm at, right? As Roth would say. Let's pull up Kevin Roth's Roto Grinder / weather / MLB weather report. Looks like it's a pretty clean night since winds in from center at 10 miles an hour on or at course. So shout out to Kevin Roth for keeping us updated. Looks like we shouldn't have to worry about anything weather-wise, and we can just get into the research. What up, Jesse? Speaking of the Brewers, it's a home run derby against Hunter Green. Yeah, the Reds are in a bad state. But through all the badness for the Reds, Tommy Pham has been good. So they should probably sell him. All right. We don't have any confirmed lineups, right? No. So 6 games on the main slate. Should be pretty easy to thumb through here. Let's get game number 1 knocked out. Using the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. You guys want access to this? You know the drill. Go to RunDFS.com. Get yourself signed up. Every year after the first month, I do the yearly recode of the spreadsheet. Last night, I began phase 1, where I start grabbing the data sources that we want to pull from for the remainder of the season, seeing what some of the new stats I'm able to use. The baseball savants kind of made it a little bit more easier to extract their information, so I can get some more of that StatCast data involved. So last night was phase 1. Usually it's about a week-long process for me to completely recode this thing from top to bottom. But hopefully, maybe by this time next week, we'll have the new version of the spreadsheet up. But either way, it's still powerful. It's still using data for this season, but obviously we'll be changing the aesthetics on the index portal a little bit, reflecting 2022 data. I didn't want to put 22 pitching data just yet because a lot of pitchers only had a couple starts, and I didn't want it to inflate people's opinions. So now that we have 4 or 5 starts for most people, I'm willing to go ahead and start that transition, tweaking the strikeout prediction model. I'm also going to try and get as much kind of invent new tabs to kind of get some of you guys that are prop betting a little bit more involved here. So I'm excited for that. It is a grind every year to recode this thing from scratch, so bear with me, but it's always worth it. It's like I said, I think it's one of the strongest things out there for baseball research. So look out for that. MV says, glad there's no NBA today. These players have been wild. I just saw Dylan Brooks got suspended for Game 3. I'm sure Josh feels bad about that. Shout out to Josh. Anyway, Mets at the Phillies. Implied run total for the Mets, 3.8. Phillies, 4.9. Phillies are a minus 165 favorite on the ML as their ace, Aaron Nola, takes the bump. Taijuan Walker on the bump for the Mets. Walker had been dealing with back issues, and I was very suspicious of what his pitch count might be coming back in the last start against these Phillies. He had just 1 strikeout in that start. However, did get to 73 pitches. So we always kind of plus 10, plus 15 for these guys as they started to build up a little bit. So you might get 85 pitches out of Walker tonight. With that said, to me, I don't think he's a pitcher worth going out of your way for it, and I don't necessarily love to pick on the Phillies, especially in Citizens Bank Park. So I can probably anticipate having no interest in Taijuan Walker here, but I do want to go check out his game grades for that last outing against this Phillies team. And sometimes you just worry about a guy in back-to-back starts against the same team because they got fresh looks on him. But looking at that last game, he had an 11% swinging strike rate, but just a 35% first pitch strike, and that's been a problem in both starts. As a matter of fact, it looks like all of his pitches this year in the big league level has been thrown against the Phillies. So, man, I can't get away from you. So he's having a big problem with getting strikes, and that is not what you want. How many walks did he have? He had 2 walks. 2 walks. It just looked like he did a lot of battling, right? A lot of starting at bats 1-0 and going from there. Did 11% swing strike rate down from his first start. That first start wasn't a lot of hitters, so it's pretty inflated. And then we know coming into the season from last year, Walker had a sub 10% swing and strike rate. So the expected ERA and the SIERA being well above 4 and what it is, I probably can expect not to have any interest in Walker today. 5.85 SIERA, 4.93 xFIP in that last game. The ground ball rate was his saving grace, 57% ground ball rate. But yeah, I don't think that he has a lot of redeeming qualities for fantasy to make him a priority. And I do like some Phillies bats here. Last year, Walker did have a slight bugaboo with home runs to lefties. That's been something that is true to both sides of the plate. So I do think we're going to be interested in some Philly stacks. So I'm going to put the Phillies at the bottom, wait for that line to come out. But obviously, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos hit a double off the top of the wall yesterday. It's just a really fun team, and they have one of the higher run totals of the day, if not the highest run total. Yeah, so I expect a lot of eyes to be on them anyway. As far as Aaron Nola goes, I'm willing to play both sides of this one, right? AK, I still think, and I said it last start, AK is just way too cheap for a guy with the caliber, the caliber of an Aaron Nola with his upside, with his potential. He went 6 innings, 7 innings, last 2 games, 20-plus fantasy points. Yes, he does have implosion potential, but when he's on, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So I think at AK, the opportunity cost is just really, really good. I don't really overthink, pricing and pitching in general. But like, if I open this slate and Aaron Nola is 9,500 to almost 10K, I'm like, yeah, that's Aaron Nola, of course. So getting him at 8K certainly feels like I'm getting a good bargain. Like I said, I do think he has bust potential. This is a hitter-friendly park, so it's not like the lock of the century, but I think we're getting a fantastic deal. Let's look at Aaron Nola's first couple games in terms of plate discipline so far. Also, I want the vibes right. I want the right. All right. 11% swing and strike rate on the season. First pitch strike rate at 75%. I mean, the polar opposite of what Taijuan Walker's bringing to the table. xFIP SIERA just pristine, and the one game that got away from him was against this Mets team, and like we said, Citizens Bank Park can play a bit more hitter friendly than most parks, but I just think that you put Nola on the slate compared to the rest of the options. There's not many other than maybe Ray and McClanahan that have as high or higher of a floor and as high or higher of a ceiling. So we're gonna play some Aaron Nola. I think we'd probably rank McClanahan as the top pitcher once we get through it. So I'm gonna put Nola in the player pool as a tier 2, but on DraftKings, AK is just a great soft price, right? Even if he gets 16 to 18 fantasy points at 8K, you probably just take that on a slate like this. So Nola in the mix here. Nola, if we want to pick on Nola, last year did have a little bit of a home run problem to lefties. Gonna be plenty of those in this Mets lineup. Brandon Nimmo, Lindor, Eduardo Escobar, Jeff McNeil. I'd be more so looking at the Nimmos and the Lindors here, but yes, we probably get to some Mets stack if nothing else than to just stack the ballpark. So I'm going to scum Dacker that up. But in terms of pitching, I think Aaron Nola is going to be one of my top 3, top 4 owned pitchers. And that's probably not saying too much, right? What up, Skimmer? Needed that Brew Crew stack and Rich Hill for the early slate. Rich Hill still getting it done, right? What up, Pinstripe Pimp? I know it's early, but Walker has some regression coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Has he been just, I guess the roast. So, results-wise, sure, I guess he hasn't been dying, but for fantasy, man, I look at a game and I see one strikeout. I'm not that interested anyway. But yeah, 8-2 ground ball to fly ball ratio. I think he could still be a trolley inning eater, but I just think from a fantasy perspective, like he doesn't offer a lot of redeeming qualities to want to load up on him for tournaments, especially against a dangerous offense in a dangerous ballpark. Ohtani 8Ks and 5. How's that game going? Someone said, is Rich Hill getting strikeouts like that? I didn't play the early slate. I intended to sleep into like 12:30, and then Mother Nature was like, "Get your butt up!" Wall shaking and stuff. I didn't know if it was a rapture. I'm starting some Hail Marys. You know what I mean? Ohtani 26. Let's go. All right, let's. I don't know. Just keep an eye on this game. Poor Red Sox, man. How the freak do you go to extras and lose by 5? My heart bleeds for them. I'll tell you what. Rich Hill 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. Okay, Rich Hill. Who's he striking out? Rendon has a K. Stassi has a K. Mayfield. Did Trout not play today? Really? Trout getting a day game off with Ohtani on the bump? Is that for real? That seems weird. And then in this Milwaukee game, what's happening? Milwaukee's just going off again. Righty Tilla is the hottest hitter in baseball. Got it. Gotta love Reds pitching. What up, Josh? Yo, Josh, can you believe they suspended Dylan Brooks, bro? Holy cow. There is no justice. Pinstripes, I like Luzardo over McClanahan. Really? McClanahan, I think, is a top 3-4 pitcher in the American League right now. I'm not anti-Luzardo, but I think McClanahan's like a stud. 9Ks through 5, yeah, he's crushing it. Okay, Ohtani, I see you. All right, so in the notes, we're stacking Phillies. We're going to have some Mets stacks. We're going to have Nola. We're not going to pitch Taiwan Walker. Next game, Twins and the Orioles. Chris Archer taking on Spencer Watkins. The Twins have one of the higher run totals on the slate as well, 4.8 for them, 3.9 for the Orioles. Last night, Orioles made Dylan Bundy, made him throw some BP, and I thought it was kind of a poor management decision to leave Bundy out there. Bundy lets up 6, and I had action on Bundy over 4Ks, by the way, and some stake in him in DFS. So I'm not. In the moment, I was like, oh, okay, maybe Dylan Bundy can salvage. He did not. But from a real baseball perspective, the Twins kind of rallied back in that game, and I believe at one point they made it a 2-run game, and they left Bundy out there. And I was like, what are we doing? I mean, I guess they don't really have like stopgap bullpen arms to feel good about. But Tyler Stevenson homered. But yeah, it just seemed like a weird thing. You obviously can tell Dylan Bundy ain't got it, so why leave him out there? And they end up losing by 5 instead of keeping it a bloop and a blast away. Well, today Chris Archer takes the bump for the Twins. He'll be up against Spencer Watkins. Watkins came into this season as one of the worst pitchers metrically out of all starters. And this season, it's been kind of a revelation for most of the Orioles pitching that have come into this season with bad numbers. And we'll see if he's one of those guys. So pulling up his recent game log. He is not missing bats. He is getting strikes. And the batted ball data is saying nope. He's not quite the Bruce Zimmerman upgrade. Does have an elevated ground ball rate, a 30% fly ball rate, which we can true fly ball rate that down to almost 20% with his infield fly ball rate being so high. However, the Sierra and the XFIP still pretty elevated, so I could kind of co-sign some of these, or not kind of, I'm going to be stacking Twins, but I could also see a path for him to be a little bit trolly, because this ground ball rate is new, right? Let's split that up and see if he's inducing an elevated ground ball rate to specifically one side of the plate or the other. So we'll go GB percentage. So So against lefties, a 65% ground ball rate, 42% to righties. So that's up. I mean, last year, Watkins had a 42% ground ball rate to lefties and a 33% ground ball rate to righties. So the righties have come up and the lefties has come up. Now, this might just be a product of small sample size, but it's something to keep an eye on. And I guess the other thing we'll fact check here is to kind of see what he's throwing differently. The fact that the Sierra and the XFIP haven't really adjusted, I do kind of want to lean towards a product of sample size. But fastball, slider, cutter, curveball, he has a lot of pitches. Was he throwing 5 last year? Spencer Watkins last year, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like he added a slider, if I'm reading this right. Little, and he didn't throw the slider in game 1. So it looks like he added a slider. Let's see if Baseball Savant reads that as a slider as well. Spencer Watkins. Villain Brooks, I like that. Do we like Shane 7K prop to stay out of a high K rate? It depends on what lineup they throw out there. I wouldn't expect like a Jesse Winker in the lineup against a lefty, but we'll see. But I doubt it, right? So let's see if Spencer Watkins is... We're looking for his slider, right? He's got a slider now, and he didn't have it last year. This slider has a 32% whiff rate. Dig it. 2,600 on the RPMs. Expected slugging of 194. Expected batting average of 140. So if he can develop this pitch, I mean, it's getting decent numbers so far. Much better than his fastball, better than his cutter, and it is a new thing. So we'll keep an eye on this. Let's look at the batted ball data individually, the last couple games. So that first game where that Sierra and XFIP was well over 6, he's brought that down a little bit, like progressively each start. And especially that last start's where he threw the most sliders ever. I wonder if that's a thing. With that said, with the new pitch and a high ground ball rate, I guess we could push back on the Twins if they started getting a bunch of ownership. And the Orioles bullpen has been pretty respectable, like really respectable. So something to keep an eye on. I still don't think I'm interested in pitching him. The whiff rate on this pitch, though, one of these days he's gonna like just start using that pitch, and he's gonna shock the world with strikeouts. But overall, like the swing and strike rate has been sub 10% every game. So I don't know that he's pitching for swing and misses here. But the fact that he does throw 5 different pitches keeps hitters on their toes. But yeah, if you're taking notes, Spencer Watkins has added a slider. Anyone got a good single game parlay? I don't know which game to target. Single game parlay for baseball? Man, that sounds tough. Baseball prop betting is so rough, man. Chris Archer on the bump here for the Twins. Let's pull him up. If I remember correctly, he was mostly a fastball slider guy. So, what happened? What did I do wrong? You ever seen the old Yankee John Sterling when he miscalls a play? What did I do wrong? Fastball 43%, slider 50%, a little bit of curveball. So still essentially a 2-pitch pitcher. Also not missing bats at an elite clip. It is a Orioles lineup that is striking out top 3, top 4 in the league right now. And you look at the bottom half of this lineup: Mountcastle, Rugneto, Odor, Ramon Arias, Anthony Benboom, Jorge Mateo in the projected lineup. All those guys strike out over 1 in 4 times against right-handed hitters. So I could see a path to where 5,800 Chris Archer like played a role, but I don't have any warm and fuzzies on that call. And I'd probably be more inclined to be looking at both offenses here. And Archer probably doesn't go past 85, 90 pitches. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a priority here. So I could probably stay away from both pitchers if I'm purely chasing ceiling outcomes. But I do think the prices are low enough on DraftKings for either or that like I could look at your line and be like, okay, dude, you do you. But I probably won't. With that said, Twins being a 4.8 implied run total, that is second on the slate. And I expect that to probably translate to top 2, top 3 on the slate as well. Buxton did not play last night. Was not in that lineup last night. Hopefully it's just a routine day off. Should he be in this lineup today, he's certainly somebody we can get behind against just about any pitcher. So does boost the stack potential, definitely boosts the scoring potential, and he would be in the conversation and in my player pool no matter what. So Correa, I believe, got into one last night. And that's about it. Luis Arraez is a great hit for average guy. 1 through 4, obviously, maybe 1 through 5 would be the stack guys I target. And Miranda, if he's in a 6 spot, he was one of my highest owned players yesterday just because look at it. He's almost bare bone min price on both sites. And in the middle of the lineup could accidentally get some RBIs, but yesterday he did not. So maybe he makes up for it today. So I can get behind stacking both teams. I'm below lukewarm on playing either pitcher. I personally don't think I'm going to get to either one of these pitchers in my pitching pool, but I will have both stacks. So let's put Twins and Orioles. And I will wrestle with the idea of the Twins maybe being over-owned. I haven't looked at ownerships yet. But Watkins in that ground ball rate could definitely be an issue. And we know that Camden has been holding some homers in, especially against power righties pulling to left field. They pushed the walls back and raised them up. And it has been a kind of a tough park to get into one. And I think we're seeing more lefties get into some power here than righties. What up, Chris? Doing all right? All right, next game on the docket, Astros hosting the Tigers. Tariq Skubal taking on Jose Urquidy. We have a run total of 3.7 on those Detroit Tigers, 4.5 on the Astros. Skubal, probably somebody I won't get to a high amount, but Skubal, unlike some of these other guys, even though Skubal's batted ball data suggests that he can give up some bombs, he also has batted ball data that suggests that he probably will have some I don't want to say outlier, but some spike strikeout games with his swing and strike stuff, right? 70 had a 70 on the fastball, max the slider, max the curveball, changeup could use some work, command can use some work, so he definitely has something in him that can produce good games. The swing and strike rate in the double digits. The first pitch strike rate, 55.7%. And to his credit, a lot of this is due to this Colorado game where he had just a 32% first pitch strike rate. The other games were a lot better. So if you take that game out, what does it do? A 297 Sierra, 273 xFIP. The fly ball rate is down. The ground ball rate is at 51%. Line drive rate still over 20%, and the infield fly ball rate 11%. So the true fly ball rate could be really, really, really elite, and that is certainly something to take note of because he came into the season with a big fly ball problem to righties, and he was holding, he's keeping the lefties on the ground. So maybe let's split that up a little bit more and see if the aggregate is influenced by splits. So we want to go to the splits and check out his fly ball percentage to righties is what we're hunting here. So just a 30% fly ball rate to righties. I mean, that's an incredible adjustment and improvement from last year. 43.5%, or excuse me, almost 44% fly ball rate to righties last year, down to 30 with a 13% infield fly ball rate. So that's good on him. We'll see if that's sustainable going forward, but that's good on him. That's giving him almost a 1.5 ground ball to fly ball ratio. So with that said, has he adjusted anything such as pitches or velo or anything like that? Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. So we look at what we had in here from last year. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. It looks like he might have had a splitter. So all that's pretty linear. The velo is about the same, 94, 88, 76, yup, 94, 88, okay. And then while we're While we're on the topic, let's go pull up his Baseball Savant page. White Sox, Royals, Rockies, Twins. What are you thinking about that strength of schedule against lefties? Knowing that I think it's fine. Let's see if there's any stark contrast in his pitch results so far. So last year, the pitch that was the worry pitch was the fastball. 627 expected slugging last year, and over almost 1,100 batted ball events, or 1,100 uses. This year's 294 so far. I mean, that's insane. I don't see anything that's like super fundamentally different. Maybe we'll check the movement. Last year, the fastball, 7.7 inches of break. Or that's this year, 7.7 inches of break. Last year, 8.3. And drop, 14.8 inches of drop. 14. That's right on the nose. Velo is dang near the same. The drop's the same, but the results are so much better. And the spin rate was pretty much the same, right? 2159, 2192. Things that make you go, All right. With that said, I think we stack Astros banking on some talent here. I love a lot of these names against lefties. Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Gurriel, Tucker all have extremely high ISO rates against lefties. So I'll be monitoring Scooble's batted ball data, see if it continues on the trajectory that he's on. I will say, like, if it was any other team than the Astros, we kind of have a NOLA thing going, right? Where he's 9,400 on Fanduel, and if I had to price him just as an average, based on the metrics that we have, based on the swing and strike rate stuff that we have, knowing that he's a 1 in 4K guy, I'd probably put him at the 7.5 to just below 8K range. And you're getting him at 6,500 on DraftKings, so I guess it's not impossible for him to bleed through here, maybe fluke into a good game with that ground ball rate and his ability to get some strikeouts. So I don't know, man. If I was running 150, I might introduce him into the mix, but I just think, warm and fuzzy wise, this Astros projected lineup has very little strikeout upside versus lefties. A lot of sub 15% K rates, top to bottom, with just Yordan Alvarez, lefty on lefty, Chas McCormick, and Martin Maldonado offering the most likely strikeout potential. So I think I'll stay away because 12 to 15 fantasy points, it's cute from a pitcher, right? Especially when you think of value. But at the end of the day, I want the highest scoring pitchers, especially on a small slate. I really don't care what the price is. I need to win the position. So I don't know if Scooble's going to win the position for me. I definitely don't think he's going to do it for me on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, like, wrestling with value, I think he could be a good value at that price point, but considering what you actually need, you're probably a couple pitchers to drop 20 plus tonight. How often is he dropping 20 plus against this matchup? I'd probably put the probability kind of low, so I think I'm gonna stay away. Wide range of outcomes in his recent game log, but 90 plus pitches. It's one of those spots. If you came at me and say, "Hey, Gun, I'm throwing Scooble. I ain't never scared," I'd be like, "All right, makes sense," but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not. Maybe the Astros throw out a punt lineup or something like that. But I am stacking Astros. Astros 4.5 run total. Like I said, them against lefties. This particular lineup with Altuve back in the mix. Although Altuve, anybody know? Didn't Altuve get hit in the groin last night? Do we know if he's like good to go? Because I think if he doesn't, we might see like Pena or Siri, right? Astros announced Altuve was removed from Wednesday's game against the top 5th with right groin soreness. So maybe Altuve is not a lock to play. Injury occurred when Altuve fouled the ball off his groin region during his 4th inning plate appearance. Though he appeared to be in pain when the play occurred, he stayed in the game, proceeded to record a base hit before coming around to score. Though Altuve appears to have avoided major injury, the fact that he returned earlier this week from a stint on the injury list, hamstring means the Astros take extra costs on him. Actually, I think I did hear after the game, he had a press conference and they asked him how he was doing, and he said, "I'm okay." And so that's good to know that Altuve is probably going to be on the up and up. But we'll see. If he doesn't play tonight, then I don't know. We'll see what the lineup looks like, because I don't think I'm going to be tempted fate here. But I do think he's fundamentally underpriced, Scooble, that is, based on the metrics, based on the predictive metrics, the Sierra XFIP, and the fact that he's been missing bats at an okay clip. So, yeah, let's get caught up on chat. What's your favorite pitchers today? What up, Shot Like Harden? I'm going game by game. The only pitcher I've jotted down so far is Aaron Nola. I know that I will be adding Robbie Ray and Shane McClanahan to the list, probably Jesus Luzardo, but I'm going game by game. Out of Tucker and Alvarez, who's the lefty to play against the lefty? So, I mean, I would probably lean who's the higher one in the order. But both guys hit lefties really well. Alvarez hits on average a little bit better and has sustained a higher ISO and OPS. So, I guess it would be Yordan Alvarez, but it wouldn't. It would be more of a coin flip than not. I'd be just looking to who touches one of the other Astros that you might have. Maybe it's a Bregman or a Gurriel or something like that. But let's wait. I'm starting to think maybe Altuve doesn't play. Bregman and Gurriel. For me, both if you can do it, but Bregman always will be the snap call answer. Bregman just has really, really good batted ball data against lefties, and he's always at the top of the bomb detector against lefties. A 4.33 on today's bomb detector, which I gotta imagine is, if it's not the top, it's got to be up there. It's top 4, but some of the other names, Mike Zunino, I guess, has a real sample size here. But Buxton and Gary Sanchez are based off of 36 innings of sample size for the pitcher, and we discussed that their pitcher has been, or their pitching matchup has been inducing a lot more ground balls, which so has Scooble, but probably Bregman in that 1v1. Hopefully we see Yandy Diaz in place of Altuve is out. Yeah, possibly. And then we wonder who'll lead off, because we've seen them lead off with Pena and I believe Siri. So look out for that. Hey Siri, play Despacito. Alright, you guys want to update this Phillies and Mets lineups? We got those out. Just see if we change anything. Bam. How likely are you to recommend this Windows PC to a friend or colleague? What? This one's mine. My friend or colleagues can't have this. Starling Marte, Lindor, Pete Alonso, Eduardo Escobar, Jeff McNeil, Mark Canha, Dom Smith. So that's as projected. Schwarber, Bohm, Harper, Castellanos, J.T. Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins batting 6th. Gene Segura, so no Didi in the lineup. Johan Camargo. Alright, Phillies lineup's confirmed. Not a big change. Only thing difference was like Didi Gregorius is not in the Phillies lineup. So we good. Yuli leading the majors in doubles, missed several games on paternity leave. That's fun with short sample size, though. Right? We respect the regression, respect the sample size. I like Yuli, though. That's not a knock on Yuli, but there's a lot of leading the majors or sucking so far that is due for progression, regression to kind of get more to the mean. But he's been really good. Really good. What up, Paul? Mariners hosting the Rays. Shane McClanahan's Auto Parts. Hit him with the haze and the hose. Robbie Ray on the bump for the Mariners. We got a projected pitchers duel. Both teams implied for less than 4 runs. McClanahan has been a stud, like a stud. If I didn't have like concerns about his innings count this year, and I think Kevin Gossman is probably the guy, I would think McClanahan has a real shot at Cy Young. Grades out almost perfect, right? Like everything is looking good. Changeup command getting them 18% swing and strike rate this year from the Department of Redundancy Department. 60% first pitch strike rate. That's great. Batted ball data, a 1.7 Sierra, a 1.59 xFIP. He is arguably, and I'm not saying he is arguably the best pitcher in the American League. Like I said, I think Kevin Gossman exists. I think Alek Manoah exists, but he's been pretty doggone good in his own right. So I'm going to be playing him tonight just because he's good. Let's look at the league here. Let's sort the league from... Actually, let me just Control F McClanahan. McClanahan has a 215 expected batting average, a 407 expected slugging, a 292 expected WOBA, a 192 expected ISO. That's close to 200. And he's just been really good. The barrel rate is higher than you would want it, but man, oh man, has he been good. So we're going to be playing some McClanahan, and based on this projected lineup for the Mariners, there's definitely some strikeout potential. Like I said, though, look out to see if they maybe give Jesse Winker the day off. Winker's been one of the most extreme splits hitters in baseball the last couple years, so he is not a lock to be in this lineup. He's definitely not a lock to be batting third, but I'm looking at projected lineups. That's where he's at. And there's plenty of strikeout potential through and through. One, on his own merit, because he's that good, and number two, so many guys, Tom Murphy, Julio Rodriguez, Luis Torrens, Eugenio Suarez, like these guys can strike out with the best of them. So 9.7K, I think McClanahan has one of the better chances at 30 fantasy points tonight. I don't know why I just did that in quotations. A laser beam, 11 strikeouts, 7, 9, 8, 7. I mean, just whiffing. Did give up three earnings to the Twins here, but like I said, was able to right his wrong with the strikeouts here. So we'll see if he ends up having like a weird quirk where he's better at home on the road or vice versa. But for the most part, just got to bet on stuff. So I'm going to add Shane McClanahan to the pitcher player pool. We're going to start him off as a tier 2 with Aaron Nola, and we'll probably promote him as the day progresses. And I think this is true for both sides. I think I'm also kind of expecting a pitcher's duel here, and probably would expect inflated ownership here as well. I'm holding off on the confirmed Twins lineup before I make a strong stance on McClanahan. Let's go look at that batted ball data versus righties so far. Guys, I was out of Bang. I need to DoorDash some Bang, but I didn't want to. I don't know. I guess if you're an active dasher, it is what it is. Maybe I shouldn't have been so nice, but I figured I didn't want to do it during the weather. But it seems like it's kind of eye of the storming or calming down here. I might have just missed it. So against righties so far this season, 31% pull rate, 25% hard contact rate, ground ball rate almost 60%, 27% fly ball rate. Might be able to true fly ball that down to like 20% if you take out the infield fly ball. So it's been really, really doggone good with a 2.14 ground ball to fly ball ratio. So yeah, I can't even look at him and say I want this guy against him. If I had to pull out some names, man, it's probably Ty France, Eugenio Suarez, something like that. But yeah, I'm not that enthralled. And then Robbie Ray on the bump for the Mariners. We'll see what this Rays lineup ends up looking like. I would imagine it's not going to be too different. But Robbie Ray does have more he has more qualities to pick on from a stack potential, right? Especially you look at the last couple of years, he's always had this elite strikeout acumen, but he also allows a lot of fly balls, a lot of hard contact, and that can get him in trouble from time to time. So let's double down on that. Let's look at what he's done so far. 12% swing and strike rate through his first 5 games, a 66% first pitch strike. Good for him. He has been known to lose the zone a little bit. Pitch type, fastball, slider, curveball. So a lot of fastball, sliders, and then let me skip this one. A 4.2 Sierra, 4.25 xFIP with a 43% fly ball rate. So let's go split that fly ball rate up, and then look at the batted ball data against either side of the plate. I need to make a much tighter list of songs that I like. Some of these songs I just don't hit. They don't hit, and then some of these songs are aight. 40.5% fly ball rate to righties so far, so that's par for the course. The pull rate at 52%, hard contact rates elevated as well. The infield fly ball rate is 15%. The home run per fly ball rate is 12.5%, so that's pretty normal. 20% line drive rate. So for him, unlike McClanahan, who when he allows contact, generally it's a ground ball. For Robbie Ray, he's going to allow some fly balls. So I do think there is some merit in maybe targeting some of these power righties from the Rays, maybe a Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena, guys like that. Even Mike Zunino. Zunino is actually one of the top names on the bomb detector. The thing with Zunino, though, is he's got to make contact, and that's easier said than done. He's been sustaining a above 30% K rate. He's kind of like a right-handed Joey Gallo. I don't know if he walks like Gallo, but he certainly strikes out and homers like Gallo. So it's a matter of him making contact. So if he can put bat on ball, he has an over 20% barrel rate, and last year Ray had a 10% barrel rate. I don't know if we got his barrel rate so far this season. Let's see, game log, StatCast. He's got an 8.1% barrel rate with a 43% hard hit rate. So, I mean, it's par for the course. Robbie Ray is being Robbie Ray. Yeah, like I said, with that, I think Robbie Ray does allow power to a couple of these, or does allow power, so a couple of these guys project well. So, I would take some Ray stacks, but I'm also playing a little Robbie Ray and a lot of Shane McClanahan. So let's put Robbie Ray's tier 3 for now. Let's introduce some Ray stacks here in the bottom. And I don't think I'm going to get behind some Mariners here. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe McClanahan just gets like egregious 50-60% ownership, and it just makes sense to kind of leverage the field with 2 to 4, 2 to 5% on a small slate. Well, I mean, what's it cost? You can stack every team pretty easily at the end of the day. So maybe it is worth stacking Mariners depending on how many lineups you're going for, but that's not anything but a leveraging the field call. I don't see any weaknesses in McClanahan to want to get there. What up, ACP? What up, Quinn? Yeah. You boys staying safe? You boys staying smart? Let's check the old Twitter. All right, we vibing. Nick Martinez taking on Jesus Luzardo of the Marlins. Jesus Luzardo, some of you guys were talking about him in chat. I think he's been a revelation so far. Not a revelation, but he's pitching closer to the expectation than what we saw last year, if that makes sense, right? So what I mean is last year he had a 5.3 expected ERA, a 1.62 whip, and when he went to Miami, we were like, oh, this dude's going to crush it. And wasn't the case. But so far this season, really good. 14% swinging strike rate, 71% first pitch strike rate. A batted ball batted ball data has given us a sub 3 Sierra, a sub 2.7 xFIP, really, really good. Fly ball rate's 1-to-1 with the ground ball rate, and the line drive rate's extremely high. So that's alarming, especially that line drive rate. So we keep an eye on that. And the 40% hard contact rate, we're leaving the door open, kind of like Robbie Ray, for some issues here. So let's split that batted ball data from left to right. Has allowed a homer to a righty so far, but against righties, a 31% line drive rate. That's alarming, guys. The fly ball rate's also higher to righties than the ground ball rate. So there's a path to regression or implosion against righties. Just reading the batted ball data, almost 50% pull rate, a 41% hard contact rate, the infield fly ball rates in the single digits. There is a world where one of these games, these numbers could spell trouble for him. So I probably am not going to get too enthralled with him just yet. But we always knew that the strikeout potential was there. What are we thinking on pitch count? 91 pitches last outing, so he should be fully ready to go. So this Seattle game, he had more ground balls than fly balls. The Seattle feed him some a lot more lefties. Because his ground ball rate is lower than his line drive and fly ball rate to righties. So it makes you wonder. So with that said, though, he does have strikeout ability. But this is a tough Padres lineup, especially to project strikeouts against. It's not the confirmed lineup, but Austin Nola, Jay Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Profar, Hosmer. I mean, the last couple of seasons, they have a sub 20% aggregate strikeout percent against lefties, and they've been kind of good. They have a 119 WRC plus against left-handed pitching. Is that? I mean, I don't know. It's still a small sample size, and it takes a while to get sample size against lefties. But I feel like that could be tops in the league. So let me double check that. Versus lefties. So it's not tops in the league, but it's up there. It's top 8 in the league. But like I said, I don't know that teams are going to be holding on to 140s for a bit, but it's still a top 10 in the league, WRC plus. So this is really a net negative matchup for Luzardo, all things considered. It could change based on the starting lineup, and Manny Machado represents a lot of this. But yeah, I think his batted ball data to righty is going to have me a little bit intrigued here. I might get into some Austin Nola if he's going to lead off. A leadoff catcher is a fun thing. Manny Machado, I'm sure. I see Trace Thompson. For those that don't know, this is Clay Thompson's brother, Trace Thompson. And he's kind of a journeyman lately, but I see him in the projected lineup. Does he look like him? It says he was called up to San Diego after Will Myers hit the 10-day injured list. So, I guess we can look at his minor league numbers, see what he's done against lefties so far. Not that we expect him to transfer, but it'll be fun. Maybe Clay will be at the game. He really might. It's San Diego. Batting .308 against lefties, a 1 slugging, a 1 OPS. That's only in 13 at bats where he has 3 homers. All right, very small sample size though. Let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. Last year, much more normal, 638 OPS against lefties, 281 OBP, and the average plummets below 200. So something to keep an eye on here. I might talk myself into some Padres stacks, though. What's the weather looking like out there? 66, normal. I think I play both sides of that. I can see a path for Luzardo's success, but I can also see I could paint a picture where he fails, especially if we aren't able to hone in on his righty splits. And then while I'm here, let me see. Luzardo, let's look at his K percentage against righties this year. Because last year it was a significant dip from lefty to righty. You figure with how many games he's pitched already, though, that it's not an issue. But I'm just curious. No, he's still at 12K per 9, which is what ridiculous. All right. So if we're making a list, I'm gonna put Luzardo as like my least confident pitcher, but he does have stuff to kind of get there. And then we're gonna add Padres to the stack list here. And then Nick Martinez, man, we buried the lead. Let's check him out. Let's check out this bullpen. Marlins are never a household name to stack, right? 5 innings essentially in every game except the Dodgers game. Strikeout per inning-ish. Ground ball rate is higher than the fly ball rate, but in some games that's not the case where it's 1-to-1. So batted ball data, what do you got for me? Plate discipline, 13% swing and strike rate. That's higher than I would have thought, because he had a 22% carry rate last year. I guess there's not enough innings to back that up. And then Sierra's elevated, 4.72 Sierra, 4.62 on the 4.63 on the xFIP. The advanced metric says he's had 2 good games. One of them is against the worst team on the planet, Cincinnati Reds. 2 bad games against 2 of the best teams in baseball, Dodgers and Atlanta. And then the Giants on his first start on April 11th. So I guess the jury is out, rightfully so. So maybe let's try and understand who is Nick Martinez. So let's go look at his minor league stuff. Just kind of see what his trajectory might be. He's 31 years old. I was gonna say this is the Rangers guy, right? So I don't remember him being especially great, but in the minors he's a career 3.28 pitcher, way less strikeouts than innings pitched. The WHIP is always above 1. Let's go 2021 on the splits. So he's been out of the league for 4 or 5 years. Has this guy been in like KBO or something? Nick Martinez, pitcher. 31-year-old dude just disappears, right? What's the gap? What's the 5-year gap? I'd imagine he was pitching somewhere. I guess it doesn't matter. So let's do the eye test here. 92 on the fastball, that's BP. 86 on the cutter. 81 on the curve. 80 on the changeup. See if we can get some expected data. Expected slugging on the fastball is almost 700, 850 on the cutter, 931 on the Jesus H, buddy. All right, so I'm not pitching Nick Martinez. Question now is, do we stack the Miami Marlins? Well, who could be backing up Nick Martinez? I guess it doesn't matter. We're gonna stack the Marlins. Sure, let's go for it. So I'm gonna add the Marlins stack to the bottom of the list here. I feel like it's really gonna be one of those scumbag slates where I'm just stacking everybody, but really focusing on who I'm not pitching. I don't think I'm pitching Nick Martinez. Have a little bit of Luzardo. Cool. And that's all I got to say about that. Went to Korea. That makes sense. Yeah, I remember him sucking with the Rangers. So, I don't know. Sometimes pitchers disappear. They come back. They figure something out. But, all right. We got one game left on the docket. Chat, we got to do a plug here before we do that. This free content brought to you in part by PrizePicks.com. If you guys are looking to sweat something out there tonight, maybe you don't want the hassle of making some DFS lineups, well, you can still get a little action through PrizePicks. If you sign up using code GUNDACKER, we'll put a link in the chat, make it a little bit easier to actually match your first deposit up to $100, and you can start getting to business. They also have hockey. They got some discounted props for hockey. You can get your start on for NBA tomorrow. They got MMA props, soccer, CSGO, boxing, and USFL, COD, cricket, literally cricket, a little bit of everything, and you can just mix and match all those. So some of you guys that were looking for same game parlay action, well, you can kind of achieve that on PrizePicks as well. So check it out. Use code GUNDACKER when you do sign up. Get that deposit bonus, and then they will be like, yo, Gun, this person signed up because you mentioned it. So here is money, and you can keep putting out free content every day, and it's just everyone wins. So check it out. Looking at the PrizePicks board here, thinking about some of the stuff we've talked about. They offer baseball props such as no run or first run innings allowed. It's essentially no run first inning or yes run first inning. They have strikeout props, pitching outs, pitcher fantasy scores, stuff like that, so on and so forth. I tend to stick with the pitcher props, the no run first inning. Every now and then I'll dabble with the hitter fantasy score. I tend to stay away from total bases and hits and walks and stuff like that. But so looking at the no-run first inning board, they have Rays and Mariners, they have Padres and Marlins, Astros, Tigers, Orioles, Twins, Mets, Phillies, Blue Jays, and Guardians. I think that game's about to go. And it's not about to, but it's closer. So I don't have the warm fuzzies on any of that. However, looking at the next game, Michaelis versus... did Logan Webb just get scratched? Because that name just changed in front of my face. Oh, interesting. He did get scratched. What up, Tank Forever? Martinez was in the top Japan League. Okay, appreciate that. There's a baseball taco vote going on right now. Ooh, let's go check that out. Steven Adams has cleared health and safety protocol. Let's go, Aquaman. All right, so let's go check it out. Let's see what they got. Taco bar voting. Goldie, Robbie Ray, Logan Webb. Well, that's off the board. Machado, McClanahan. That has to be the vote, guys. McClanahan to 4.5 Ks. Yeah, it looks like everyone's gonna vote for that. So hold out for that, and I think you can get some action on that. Why would anyone vote for anything else? Then, all right. So yeah, if you guys have access to the PrizePicks Discord, I would recommend we vote for Shane McClanahan strikeouts to go down to 4.5. That seems pretty free. Maxing that Sidney Crosby prop. I don't know anything about hockey. I played 2 hockey slates this year, profited both. I have no idea what I'm doing though. I just literally like sprayed stacks and looked at ownership. What else we got? Strikeout props on the board here for games that matter. Michaelis is at 5. Michaelis is not a strikeout guy. That seems a little high. Well, let's talk about this game, then we'll look at that. All right, Cardinals at the Giants. Miles Michaelis taking on not Logan Webb. It is Mauricio Rivera. Oh my. The spreadsheet did not have his back. One inning. So it's a straight up bullpen game. It looks like. You guys let me know if you see anything that pops differently. But the guys, I mean, he pitched yesterday, so I think we're gonna. Oh, Altuve is leading off. So I assume that it's a full bullpen game. And in that case, we're just betting on talent here. So if you want to stack the Cardinals, it's more so betting on them than a particular matchup that you like. Gun swaying the vote. I'm sure as the week progresses or as the months progress, baseball Taco Tuesday will be a thing. I would recommend you guys always vote something pitcher related. Like the hitters is ridiculous. Because if you get like a hitter from 6.5 to like 4.5, well, more than likely when he hits that, he probably clears both. So it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't seem as valuable to me. It's like a strikeout prop reduction. What was I doing here? Team stats, pitching. Relievers. And we want. We'll sort the league's bullpens by. I don't know, what metrics should we go by? Let's go plus stats. This will give us a good indication on the bullpen versus league average. So let's do XFIP plus, or that's XFIP minus, whatever. So where's San Francisco at? San Francisco is below league average, but pretty much league average in that category. I imagine they're going to be pretty high in home runs, just 50. So that's well below league average, but we're going to do whip, they're a little bit league average, BABIP, they're league average. So it's an average bullpen. So if we're picking on them, you're probably never going to get the same arm twice. And then looking at the bullpen usage from yesterday for the last couple days for the Giants. Tyler Beede pitched yesterday, Rivera and Sam Long. So it's not possible to pitch back-to-back days, but I would probably expect that Beede doesn't. George Springer's not starting today. You might get some Jose Alvarez. He did throw on Tuesday. That would be a positive lefty match. You might get Yarlin Garcia and Jake McGee. So we're seeing a bunch of lefties here. So there's a good chance that some lefties are on the bump for what we like, Goldie, Arenado, O'Neill, guys like that. But it was Yarlin Garcia. I feel like he was a stretched out starter for like the Marlins at one point. So I wonder if they've ever used him for long relief lately. 1.2 on the first, 2 innings on opening day. Yeah, maybe. All right, assuming full bullpen game, we'd just be banking on the talent here. But it looks like there's at least a decent chance we might catch some lefties in the mix. And you really can't. There's no lanes for the Cardinals other than like Corey Dickerson that you can avoid with lefties. So Edman, Goldie, O'Neill, Arenado would be the attacks for me. So I'll get behind them. Rivera has very small sample size in the spreadsheet from last year. We got 7.2 innings the last 2 seasons. So far this season out of the bullpen, he's been fine. So if you guys are rundfs.com subscribers, understand that the bomb detector might be broken. But I just might take the Cardinals out of the bomb detector because we're only getting likely 1 at bat for every pitcher today. But I don't know. Does Rivera get us some sample size last year in the minors? He does not. So, all right, cool. Let's do that. Let's. I don't want people to get the wrong idea here. So let's take St. Louis out. And reshuffle. We will be stacking some Cardinals though. we'll see if that changes anything. I had him at a 3.4 implied run total, so nothing to write home about. And then Miles Michaelis on the bump here for the Cardinals. He came into the season a big contact guy, 16.7% swing and strike rate, 16.7% K rate, a 7.8% swing and strike rate. And let's see if he's picked up on that so far. 7.6% swing and strike rate, up about the same. Batted ball data, Sierra xFIP's fine. Ground ball rate, 46%. That fly ball rate I don't remember it being close to 40, but I could be wrong. No, it wasn't. So the fly ball rate's kind of spiked on him. Where's the pitch count at? Pitch count at words. I need a bang. 7 Ks against Arizona? How? 7 against Milwaukee? How? How is he doing this? Yeah. Game log. I need answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. So what I'm going to see is if these strikeouts were swinging or not. Struck out looking 1. Struck out swinging Carson Kelly. All right. 1 looking. Struck out looking. 2 looking. Leflo struck out swinging. Of course he did. Peralta struck out looking. Seth Beer struck out looking. So 4 of those 7 strikeouts were looking. So he froze the hitter against them. So that would be 3 earned strikeouts in my book. And then Milwaukee. Let's look at that. The reason I'm looking is I'm kind of interested in under 5 strikeouts. As a prop bet today. So what was the other one? Milwaukee. Play log. Struck out swinging. Struck out swinging. Of course. Yelich and Colton Wong, all right? Of course. Struck out swinging. Jace Peterson struck out looking. Yelich struck out swinging. Good God, Brewers. What were we doing here? Omar Narvaez struck out swinging. All right. I'm going to write this game up as an outlier. Yelich struck out swinging 3 times to Michaelis. Are you serious? Yelich, stop. What are we doing? All right. Well, I'm interested in Michaelis under 5 Ks. I would wait to see what the lineup is. And if I give Michaelis, Jesus, 100 pitches, yeah, you might just take 5 Ks on accident. What's 100 pitches giving me on the K Factory? 6.8. All right. Well, maybe I'll stay away from that. I do want to stack some Giants here, depending on this lineup. If you're going to be a contact righty, Jock Peterson's in play. Brandon Crawford's in play. Went yard last night. Yastrzemski's back for him, so the lineup definitely got better. But at the end of the day, it's still an Oracle game. It's still one of the lower temperature games on the slate, so it's a more pitcher friendly environment than anything. It looks like it's the lowest temperature game, but anyway. Let's see what you guys got, chat. I don't know if any more lineups came out. By the way, if you want to hang out with me before lock, I will be on the Awesemo Live Before Lock countdown show today. The big show, since there's no basketball, it's going to be like 2 hours. So there's a good deeper dive, and then me and Eric will jump in if this thunder goes away and count you guys to lock and make some lineups. So be sure to look out for that. Add that to your little schedule. And yeah. Hello, Mia Moore. What up, Garrett? Who's pitching for San Fran? Looks like a bullpen game. Garrett Hampson, dong. Bro, you play Garrett Hampson? Good for you. Good for you. All right, we got a few lineups we can add to the mix here. Twins, Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa's batting second. All right. Jorge Polanco. I think that's their best 1-2-3 combo that they could offer. Kepler batting cleanup. This lineup's looking better. Gary Sanchez, yup. Trevor Larnach, Jose Miranda, Ryan Jeffers. I do like this lineup. I think it's one of their better offensive lineups. I guess, Miguel Sano would be the obvious absence here for a little down in the order power, but Mullins, Trey Mancini, Santander, Austin Hayes, Mountcastle, Odor, Ramon Urias, Robinson Chirinos, Rob Chirinos, Jorge Mateos batting ninth. We did get an Astros lineup. Jose Altuve is in it. Michael Brantley second. Bregman, Alvarez, Yuli Gurriel, Kyle Tucker, Jeremy Pena, Siri, Martin Maldonado. So, 1 through 6 is my targets here. I wouldn't leave out Pena. He's been all right. And I guess Siri has shown some pop. So, but if I had to prioritize, it would be 1 through 6. Yeah. And that's it. That's all the lineups. I'm going to prop shop a little bit. See what we got. So, I imagine we are going to get this this taco for McClanahan, I imagine. Yeah, McClanahan's running away with it. So, we will take a shot at McClanahan over 4.5 strikeouts against Seattle. We'll like that. Pitching outs. What are we thinking on pitching outs now? So, they got Nola projected for 6 innings. Archer, they're asking you if he'll go 5 innings. That's interesting. Same for Spencer Watkins. Tariq Skubal to go 5.2 innings. It's possible. Urquidy to go 5.2 as well. Luzardo at 16.5. Nick Martinez at 15.5. Robbie Ray at 6 innings. McClanahan at 17.5. So, we're going to get the taco on McClanahan, and he's such a strikeout guy that I'd probably look for him to get 40% of his outs via strikeout anyway. And then Michaelis is at 6 innings. So none of those scream at me. Like if we had Nola at I don't know. I guess I'd be more so on the under, but yeah. Let's see what we got for fantasy scores. All these seem appropriate. I think Michaelis is going to come down to whether or not he gets 6 innings or not for the quality start. And then let's cross-reference bomb detector matchups, and maybe we could talk ourselves into some of these hitters for fantasy points on PrizePicks. Buxton is at the top of the bomb detector. It is leading off. He's usually priced at 7.5 points, though. I don't think we're going to get 7.5 points. We're not going to get a great deal, but if he does get there, that's a double and a run, something like that. What else we got in the bomb detector here? Bregman against a lefty, I'm a sucker for. Altuve leading off against a lefty. I mean, I guess it's a good sign that he's in the lineup. So I might get behind a couple of maybe handcuff Bregman and Altuve. Hope for positive correlation. Altuve is at 6.5. I'd imagine Bregman's going to be at 7.5. Let's see. Houston. Bregman's at 6.5. So I don't mind putting Altuve and Bregman together. Like I said, though, Skubal has been fine. So it's not necessarily a knock on him. We're just looking for doable stuff. Flex play only. That's it. The board's kind of light. Goldie at 5.5 and Arenado at 5.5 against a bunch of average pitchers. I could see getting behind them as the extra implied at bat team, right? 5 or 6. So I might take a shot on that as well, because when they put the ball in play, it's likely going to be extra base hit anyway. So I'd probably get a little card stack action going. If Tommy Edman does lead off, I mean 4.5 is really cheap for a leadoff hitter on the road. And I can't really care about the matchup too much, but That's just like a really good price for a lead off. So I'll probably take Tommy Edman if he leads off. I don't imagine he will. Yeah. Tigers lineup just dropped. What do you guys got? You guys got any favorite PrizePicks plays? Hampson's on your dynasty squad. Let's go. Seems like the St. Louis only goes off on early slates. Maybe. I was pretty salty the other day because I stack Cardinals religiously and didn't get that explosion game. And then the other day when I woke up, I saw they were going off. I was like, God dang it. Twins lineup's out. Buxton's playing. I think they're going easy with him already. Especially since they're protecting some wins here. What's this Tigers lineup looking like? Maybe it'll make us like Jose Urquidy some more. Akil Baddoo, Robbie Grossman, Javier Baez, Austin Meadows, Miguel Cabrera, Jamer Candelario, Harold Castro, Spencer Torkelson, Tucker Barnhart. All right. So let's look at Urquidy then for prop betting. 90 pitches. So let's stick with the 90 pitch projection. 5 innings ish for him there in his really every game. So at 90 pitches. Wait, also this was confirmed, right? Why didn't I confirm that? Yeah. So let's give him 90 pitches in the K Factory, and let's look at outs and strikeouts. So 90 pitches, I'm getting 6.8 strikeouts, and I'm getting 20 outs. I feel like it's a little aggressive, but what do we got? 16.5 outs, 25.5 fantasy points. I'm also getting the over on the strikeouts with that projection. I wonder if somebody's breaking the model for strikeouts. Let me see. Tucker Barnhart, Torkelson, Javi Baez, and Baddoo all strike out 1 and 4 or greater. And they also don't waste pitches. I mean, Javi's averaging 3.7 pitches per plate appearance against righties. I mean, that's just incredible. So maybe that's why the out projection's so high, is they're not working pitch counts. So it does make sense. But Urquidy's not really a swing and miss guy, although the last 2 games were better. Did he change up anything pitch-wise in those 2 games? A little bit more cutter, a little less curveball, a little bit more changeup. None of those pitches are profiled particularly positive, so I don't know. I'm not comfortable with anything Urquidy right now, so I'm going to stay away from that. What is Underdog giving us for baseball tonight? Guys, I got a similar deal with Underdog for you guys. So if you're on PrizePicks, but you're not on Underdog, broaden your horizon a little bit. They'll also double your first deposit up to $100. So Underdog also offers pitch counts. So they have like Jose Berrios at 91.5 pitches. That's not innings. That's not outs. That's how many pitches he throws. They have him at 5 strikeouts. Getting back to the slate that we've studied for, though. Nola at 6 Ks or 17.5 outs. I think that's pretty linear. 6 Ks or 18 outs. So there's a hook there. Difference between the 2 sites on Nola's outs. What the hook gonna be? I also say maybe I'm sleeping on the obvious here. But Taijuan Walker being a contact guy. Yeah, maybe a first inning Bryce Harper at bat. He's up there with Schwarber as well. Schwarber's kind of waking up. Maybe I should be taking some action on these Phillies bats. But you can on PrizePicks. But on Underdog, you can get Harper, 1.5 total bases. That's it. They don't give you much else. The fact that they're not really giving us Phillies makes me want to take some unders on Taijuan Walker, huh? What's Archer's Archer's at 4.5. That's linear. Buxton's at 1.5 bases. Cool. They have Watkins at 3 strikeouts. And PrizePicks has Watkins also at 3 strikeouts. Really? 3. I guess his swing and strike rate still stayed in the single digits, but that's really low for a guy that's might go 5-6 innings. You just accidentally get K's. School 4.5. Nothing's popping. McClanahan 16.5 outs. I think that's pretty much the same, right? McClanahan 17.5 outs. So there's a 1 out difference between PrizePicks and Underdog for McClanahan. They also have McClanahan at 88.5 pitches. Ooh, and that's kind of on par. Walker has a 6% K rating to righties in his 2 starts so far. Castellanos homer. Yeah, he could, for sure. I'm not in love with like most of these lines, right? I don't want to force anything. Slater under half a hit is intriguing because, but he probably doesn't even start though. Yeah. All right, we'll wait for some more lineups to come out, confirm, develop. We'll make some decisions. I didn't miss any more lineups, right? No, so we should be all right. Remember, guys, it's an early lock, 6:40 Eastern, 5:40 Central. So don't get caught with your pants down this game, or 6:45 rather. So don't get caught stuck out. Tomorrow we're gonna do some more NBA content. My boy Josh is working on a how to make PrizePicks cards video, like how to correlate and stuff like that. Maybe that gets dropped sometime tonight to tomorrow as well. And then what's tomorrow's baseball schedule looking like? Hopefully we can do an afternoon stream. Angels dropped 7 out of nowhere. What happened? What happened? Like, oh, bro, Red Sox. Oh, you just hate to see it. You just hate to see it. Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's a big fat Friday night main slate, right? A couple early games, but oh my God, Red Sox, what are we doing? What are we doing? They're the king of pitchers duels that just gets out of hand, right? What did happen? Walsh hit a grand slam, or he just had 4 RBIs on the game? Yikes. I mean, I for one just hate to see the Red Sox struggling, you know? It's just a shame to see a team like them, just a great franchise. Tanner Houck came in and gave up all those runs? Also, why is he coming in after 5 innings? I'm gonna have to drop him in season long. Wait a minute. Oh God. Please tell me I did not have this dude starting today. You're kidding me. Why? He wasn't. Gosh dang it. No. Of course. On my bench, known 2.1 inning reliever Tanner Houck. 7 earnings. Fudge. I hate it here. I do. Woosah. I'm dropping that bum right now, chat. We're doing it. We're doing it. Get him out. Get him off the team, chat. Let's make a business decision on the air. Nah, I'm not dropping him. He's kind of good. But what the heck happened for Tanner Houck to get destroyed like that? What the freak? Hate to see the city of Boston suffer. I mean, you just really do. You really hate to see it. You just, Oh. Chat, I got nothing else, man. Let's roll out. Twitter.com/Gundacker if you got anything else for me. I'll be chilling in the Discord voice chat for a little bit before we jump on the Osmo live before lock, so be sure to check that out. Hey, if you're not in the free Discord, we got one of those too. Link in the description below. Shout out to all you guys that have jumped in there lately. What does that say? Michael Lorenzen left yesterday ahead of apparently no one informed Joe Madden, who started looking for him to pinch hit in the late extra inning game. I said somebody go get Lorenzen. He said they were like, he's on a plane. Oh, Joe Madden. Free Discord link in the description below. Gerardo, ACP, Baby Kangaroo, Mike, Breed, Mahad, I am him. Shout out to you guys for jumping in there, becoming part of the free Discord. Completely free. Jump in there and be part of the community, man. We love to see you. He had some nasty stuff this season, Tank. Like, I thought he was going to be really, really good. So, I don't know. I'll inspect the start, see exactly what happened. Maybe he started tipping or something, but that's uncharacteristic of him. So, anyway, chat, I appreciate you guys hanging out, making part of my day, be part of your day. Thankfully, no power loss, so we're vibing and thriving, man. I hope you guys crush it tonight. I'll see you guys either later today in the Discord, on the Osmo Live before lock, or tomorrow, man. Tell somebody you love them. I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.